Hey y'all, Tara May here, and I've got another horror pack unboxing. This is going to be, of course, the October horror pack, and I got both of them today, so I'm not sure which one I'll be opening first, but one of them was kind of heavy, and I do know that they promised another limited signed one because I believe it's Horror Pack's anniversary. And they do still post the clues. Last time I said that I didn't think they did, and they responded. They do still post the clues. It'll be on Instagram, but they do also tweet them if you follow them on Twitter at Horror Pack. So let's see what we got. Looks like the DVD one. And I actually guessed this one right. This is The Woods. This is the one with the girls in the private school, and it's kind of like maybe a little bit of witchcraft stuff going on. I'll read the back to y'all. The woods come alive in this frightening tale about a young girl with a marked soul. Fallburn Academy is a prestigious all-girls boarding school nestled deep within the forest. Its newest student, Heather Fossilo, Agnes Bruckner, isn't liking the others. She hears voices, left by her parents, Bruce Campbell and Emma Campbell, under the menacing watch of headmistress Mrs. Travers, Patricia Clarkson, and her eerie staff. She quickly realizes that nothing at Fallburn is what it seems. When her classmates begin mysteriously disappearing into the forest, Heather uncovers a horrifying secret and receives an education in terror. At Fallburn, the biggest lesson to be learned is that there's no escaping the woods. So, I believe my mom has that one, so we do have a copy in the house. I haven't watched that in some time. I don't remember being overly impressed, but I don't remember hating it. So, our next one, How to Save Us, Survive the Horror. Haven't heard of this one. Alright. When Brian Everett's younger brother Sam goes missing in the island of Tasmania during the middle of a mysterious quarantine, Brian, Jason Trost, is forced to traverse across enemy lines to save his brother from an army of ghosts by following Sam's rules of survival. But will this buy enough time for Brian to find his brother, or will they both be stuck in a hellish realm of the dead forever? Brought to life with bone-chilling and brilliant score from acclaimed composer Tori Letzer, American Horror Story, Thor: Dark World, Phil Miller's astonishing cinematography, and Trost's strong directorial instincts, How to Save Us is being lauded by critics as a powerful, somewhat introspective look at family through the eyes of a man who has lost his, and an independent film with a strong foundation in the genre and uniquely vivid vision. So, it may actually be pretty interesting, and I'm sure I'll tweet about it when I watch it. I actually still have a lot left that I haven't watched, unfortunately. But that's how it goes. Alright. So, the next one. Oh, this is a twofer, double feature. House and House 2. These are actually quite amusing movies. And while I actually own copies of these, I'm not that disappointed. I mean, I'll probably wind up giving this to my mom because she doesn't have them, and she's the reason I ever watched these to begin with. The second one's rather a horror comedy, and it's kind of humorous. While the first one's, there is humor to it, but it's definitely a little bit more serious, and it has George Wendt from Cheers, and he's the neighbor. William Catt, I believe it is, plays, yep, William Catt. Kay Lenz and Richard Mull, who played Bull in Night Court, an old show that, you know, some of you my generation may remember or older. I'm sure a lot of you younger ones are like, the hell's Night Court? But this movie was very interesting to me. The guy, he visits his aunt, and she's got this crazy old house, and his son disappears. He goes down in the pool and just disappears. So they can't find him. Him and his wife wind up breaking up, and his aunt ends up, I believe she dies, so he inherits the house. And when he gets there, you know, he's still tore up about his son and stuff, and he's kind of seeing them everywhere. And it turns out that the house is quite haunted and actually sort of has doorways to other realms, sort of. So, I'll read the back to you, but that's pretty much the gist of it. Horror novelist Roger Cobb is a man on the edge, reeling from his recent divorce, haunted by the mysterious disappearance of his young son, and struggling with his new book about traumatic experiences in Vietnam. But when he moves into the strange house left to him by his late aunt, Roger's precious sanity comes under siege by nightmares of his dead war buddy, visits from a nosy neighbor, and an onslaught of hideous creatures from another dimension. Horror has found a new home, and it's fully furnished with murder, monsters, and madness. Now, the second one, the guy and his wife or fiance, they move into this place, and he actually finds one of his dead ancestors and digs him up his Uncle Jesse. And it's a lot of actually kind of quest type things in some of the other realms inside the house. It is not the same house, but it, I guess, has the same issues going on. And like I said, it's actually a lot more funny, kind of more intentionally funny. And I believe, and I don't know his name, but the guy that played Cliff in Cheers, which is what George Wendt was from, he is actually in this one as an exterminator. Jesse McLaughlin's sitting on top of the world. He's a talented artist with a growing career and a beautiful girlfriend, and he's moving into a magnificent house, a very special house, a house which will plunge him into an incredible adventure, one where all of his dreams, fantasies, and nightmares will be realized. He'll meet a 175-year-old great-great-grandfather, encounter a giant barbarian, confront a pterodactyl, discover a crystal skull with magical life-restoring powers, and more. And he'll be thrust into a life-and-death struggle, encountering things guaranteed to horrify and delight, all without leaving his house. So that's pretty interesting. And that one, it also has Royal Dano, Jonathan Stark. Ari Gross is the lead in that. He's been in a few things, but I think The Experts is maybe the most notable. Lar Park Lincoln, I believe she's in one of the Friday the 13th movies. And John Ratzenberger, that's the name of the guy from Cheers, right there on the front. And I really like these movies. Some people don't like House 2, but I actually thought it was really rather amusing and fun movie, horror-wise. And actually, I'm noting these horror packs didn't come in one of those little bubble wrap envelopes inside the box this time, so that's interesting. I love those movies. Alright. The last thing in here, wow. Bloodfest, Rest in Pieces. It's a 10 with 5 movies on it. That's pretty neat. It's coffin shaped and in time for Halloween. I actually think I saw these somewhere the other day and was thinking that was a pretty neat idea. Now, like, the little fingers, actually, they kind of stick out and the lettering's raised. Rest in Pieces. Get ready to scream and hide because this is going to be a Bloodfest. Bloodfest is a 5 DVD collection of horrific cult classics designed to make you clutch those couch cushions and check to make sure that all of the doors are locked. Directed by notable horror kings such as Dario Argento and Lucio Fulci, Bloodfest contains nearly 8 hours of chills, thrills, screams, and psychos for a horror cavalcade you won't soon forget. So we have The Thirsty Dead. A series of women are kidnapped from the streets by members of a cult who must feed on their young, fresh blood in order to remain immortal. Sisters of Death. 5 women who were once members of a secret cult attend a reunion at a remote castle where they are trapped by an evil man on the edge of madness. Could it be because of the awful secret they share? We've got House by the Cemetery. A dark secret lurks in the basement of the old mansion where the Boyle family has taken up residence. A deranged doctor has been killing the home's inhabitants since 1879, using the fresh cells of his victims to stay alive. Bloody Wednesday, an unpredictable psychological horror story of one man's descent into madness if he encounters strange attackers that may or may not be real. And The Hatchet Murders. Oh, that's deep red, and that's the Argento one there. After witnessing a murder, pianist Mark Daly realizes that he could be the killer's next target and sets out to escape what could be an inevitable fate. House by the Cemetery would be the Fucci title. And actually, other than Deep Red, I did not have any of these movies. My brother has Sisters of Death, but that's pretty interesting. I just love the way they packaged it. Oh, and the little maggots are also raised. That's kind of neat. So I'm wondering how the discs are inside, as I can kind of feel them moving. I'm not sure if they're going to be on a tray or something like that. If this were easier to open, I might pop it open and show y'all. Don't have my scissors. Oh, I might be able to do just that. So I'm interested to see how this is packaged inside here, because sometimes you get these sets and they look neat and everything's just in these little sleeves or slid down in cardboard envelopes or something, or laying on a crappy spindle. Have you seen those? I hate those. Alright. So inside is another coffin. This one's cardboard. And it looks like it just kind of opens out. Looks like it's got more things about the movies in there. Let's see. Show you that. Yep. The discs are in cardboard and it doesn't look like they stay too well. One of them was already loose. They kind of go on these little foam things. It's these little foam discs that's on there. so y'all can see how that is constructed, in case y'all see this. Whoop, see, discs do not stay. Neat idea, but they maybe should have secured the discs like a lot better. But it's still really a cool set. I'm just going to have to put that back together now. So, that was this month's DVD horror pack. For those of you who still don't know or haven't watched my other videos, horrorpack.com does movie subscription things where you get 4 random DVDs or Blu-rays. You can choose both packs as you would get 8 different movies. They don't have the same titles in the Blu-ray pack as they do in the DVD pack. And you can subscribe for, I believe it's $19.99 still for the DVDs, and it would be $24.99 for the Blu-rays. And for starting out collectors, it's pretty good way to collect a lot of movies. They do have a range of titles. They have older ones, as you saw. The house movies were from the 80s. They also have independent films. You usually get a zombie film or so in these. This is the first time I've seen something like this in the tin, which, you know, actually has 5 movies, so that's pretty cool. There's all kinds of different little things that you would get, and like I said, for those starting out, for those who already have a really big collection, you're definitely more likely to get repeat titles. Like I said, I did have some of these myself, so that's something. But I do recommend it. It's actually been a bit of a payoff, and if you have the movies, you can always find somebody who, you know, maybe wants that one, trade it, sell it on eBay, do whatever you want with it. Oh, that eye actually closes and opens. I don't know if the camera can pick that up, y'all. That's pretty cool. But, that being said, Horror Pack has been pretty neat for me, and I've picked up a lot of titles that way. So, I hope to see y'all next time, and I hope you enjoyed my unboxing video. And like or subscribe. And also, follow me on Twitter at TaraMay79. And any questions that you have, feel free to ask. I'll answer. And also, you can find me on Twitter, like I said, and ask me questions there. So, I hope to see you next time.